Finding belonging in my neurodiversity. You see, fitting in is the opposite to belonging. Brené Brown's research revealed that fitting in is about assessing and acclimating. So, it's in the state of awareness to know what to say or to do to fit in. Belonging is the state of awareness to find it in yourself first. Speaking your truth, telling your story, and never betraying yourself. To find true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are, but rather to be who you are. The state of belonging, various neurodiverse conditions such as ADHD, dyslexia, autism, bipolar, Tourette's disease, dyspraxia, many that exist, that falls within the spectrum of neurodiversity, which relates to the unique way neurodivergent people's brains are wired. Neurodifferences are categorized into social categories such as ethnicity, gender, ability, and sexual orientation. Today, we're up to 20% in the world population that is considered neurodiverse. Furthermore, over 80% of adults on the spectrum are unemployed despite having an education. This is according to My Disability Jobs 2023. Companies worldwide are embracing neurodiversity, but it appears to be more in vogue and receives attention as a trend rather than making a difference, a fundamental part of inclusive cultures. So have we made progress in a neurotypical society? You know, growing up, my mom was not a big fan of Barbie and Ken because she believed these dolls influenced body dysmorphia. I tend to agree. It does send out social signals, but this is a conversation for another day. But body dysmorphia is this mental health disorder when a person obsesses over their flaws and appearances. I like to refer to it as the Kardashian effect. Normalizing society to fit into unrealistic expectations of what people should look like and how they should dress and behave to be accepted. We still live in a neurotypical society where we play on both sides of the fence between normal and abnormal. There is still an expectation to acclimatize to the mold. Not too long ago, lefties were forced to write with their right hands because it was considered abnormal. It is less stigmatized in the Western world, but still, a difference that rolls with unconscious bias. We live in a world developed for right-handed people, and this is one example of how nuances are not fully embraced or even considered. User-friendly products and work environments are not prevalent and force left-handed people to be right-handed. Looking through the neurodivergent lens, my father was different, very different. It was so difficult for me to connect with Dad, and we had a rocky relationship, significantly as I grew older. He was quiet, shy, and challenging. When I turned 10 years old, around about that age, I felt that I was surpassing his intellect, and I started to feel embarrassed by him and didn't like to bring friends over. My childhood experience with him was similar to the movie I Am Sam, which was inspired by Dr. Seuss's poem, Green Eggs and Ham. In his 70s, he was diagnosed with Asperger's, autism. After his recent death, I started to reflect and realize how biased I was and wish I had known more about the spectrum growing up. Maybe things would have been different. Maybe there was a way to connect to him better. I've always known I had dyslexia and ADHD, but never wanted to acknowledge it. The fear of what people and clients would think of me was daunting, especially in a communications career. Having a similar label as my dad and seeing him ostracized was not something I could face. Thanks to the neurodivergent community who had the bravery to step into the arena and start the neurodiversity movement. For the first time, I looked beyond disability and saw ability and rainbows of hope. I then recalled how amazing my dad was with math. He was creative and full of innovative ideas. He might not have executed them all, but the ideas were there. Maybe if he felt more encouraged, he would have been able to execute those ideas. Maybe if there was somebody to support him, things would have been different. Difference starts here. To have this conversation, to start making people more aware of neurodiversity, but also the incredible gifts it brings. I decided it was time to get a professional diagnosis and face the music. My life could have been much better if I had a better understanding and the tools to help me function better to reach my own full potential. On the 6th of December 2022, I was officially and professionally diagnosed with Asperger's, ADHD, and dyslexia, resulting in anxiety disorders and burnout. Accepting my difference was the most liberating thing I have ever done for myself. Learning about neurodiversity allows me to connect to my dad, understand my weaknesses and strengths, discover tools to improve life, live in balance, and use the knowledge to help drive diversity and inclusion in business and communications. It is looking beyond the label and seeing the greatness it has to offer to the world at large, learning to show less sympathy and offering more empathy to achieve big picture thinking. Here is to embracing difference. Things can be different.